We are part of ICMM, which is an organization with the largest mining companies in the world, the largest, and they adhere to certain basic principles. And at the heart of those principles is a commitment to stakeholder engagements, communities, workers, the environment. I was at Modikwa yesterday in the Limpopo province, and we've had challenges there, but we had a mass meeting with many of our workers, as well as meetings with various stakeholders. What I saw yesterday in Modikwa emphasized the critical importance of of how successful mining companies in this country are going to have to operate, and those that are not going to partner with their employees and with the communities that live next to their mines. In this highly politicized environment in South Africa, you will have problems. All of the challenges with the communities, with labor, with working hours, minimum wage, and working conditions, you've got to sort them out. We are definitely committed to those principles that creates long-term shareholder partnership, but also long-term shareholder commitment. Sometimes we talk about it, and we are not doing as well as we can and as well as we should. And the test is on the ground. So, and that's why I'm saying I am so confident after, and I know all of the other mines I'll be visiting, I don't expect to hear anything different. But I think we will do, and of course we've got a duty to the mining industry as well, not just to ARM, but to make sure that the mining industry as a whole, as well as the whole of the businesses in this country, do well and are globally competitive. Operational efficiencies, this slide refers to what I spoke to earlier, that one of our fundamental principles is we need our operations below the 50th percentile. And those operations that are above, there are either aggressive steps to bring them below, and Modikwa is one of them, to the extent that there are not clear strategies in the short term. We should not be in those operations.
You told us you got some particular insight at Modikwa when you visited the communities. Can you please tell us what it is the communities want? Can you meet their demands, and what are the financial implications for your platinum mine of meeting those demands?
We are going to be impacted by the legislative, regulatory, as well as the policy environment that we operate in, not just as a mining industry, but also all of the industries. And this is a critical issue, because as CEOs and as business leaders, we've neglected it. And it's going to negatively impact our global competitiveness. And we cannot allow that without, we have to engage very seriously. And it's also relevant because the business constituency in this country, their capacity to influence policy making is zero at best. We as business people, we have to engage with government, with the communities, and part of the starting point has to be, you will never fulfill what the communities want. So don't fool yourself into assuming that you are on a process to get 100%. And you shouldn't aim for that. But what we have to do is, and where in some areas we've done very well, and in some areas we haven't done well at all, is we have to continuously educate those communities. I mean, I had a meeting with business people, traditional leaders. We want more tenders, we want more contracts. We haven't, we love you, but we haven't seen you for so many years. And I said, of course you haven't seen me, because it was deliberate. It was bad of me to be always there, because they then they don't build relationships with our managers and everything. But how can you give tenders and contracts and even get equity, pay dividends because they are shareholders, to communities when the mines are not making money? And the business community must understand the politicians are going to throw us not just in front of a bus, but in front of any plane that comes, not even plane, any train that comes before them, if the choice is between votes for the communities that they get from the communities and the business community that we represent, in many respects that are seen to be, having made lots of money. So bottom line, I am absolutely confident, and there are certain fights that you have to have. The people of this country deserve that we have to fight for all stakeholders. And if you look at the most successful economies in the world, those are the economies that have built an environment for private sector investment and for entrepreneurship that is world class. We are doing so badly. So we are such a disaster in presenting our case as to what is good for business in this country.